Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into the conceptual blueprint for a sports documentary that is just dripping with pure, unadulterated emotion. We're talking about the ultimate story of Royal Challengers Bengaluru, champions forever. This isn't just a recap of a cricket match. It's about cementing an absolute legacy and achieving back-to-back glory. So let's get right into how this documentary concept brings that incredible story to life. Picture this, the screen fades from black and you hear a deep, powerful voice delivering this single line. Some victories end a drought. Some victories begin a dynasty. Right away, it anchors you. It pulls you straight into the immense emotional weight of RCB's journey and sets the tone perfectly for the whole ride. The really clever part is how the narrative frames this transition. On one hand, you have the drought, those painful, heartbreaking years without a trophy. Every RCB fan knows that feeling, right? But then, on the other hand, it pivots straight into the dynasty, that historic, absolute breakthrough championship. It's a classic, powerful storytelling arc, turning historical pain into ultimate triumph. Now, what's really interesting here is the audio. The documentary's audio progression is mapped out to exactly mirror the team's rising momentum, kind of like a three-step journey. Step 1 kicks off with a slow, emotional piano, really letting you feel the struggle and the history. Then, Step 2 rises into this driving cinematic percussion as the season's momentum builds. And finally, Step 3 just explodes into a massive orchestral championship anthem. You literally hear the emotional journey through the music. Section 2. Defending the Crown, the Pressure of IPL 2026. Coming into the 2026 season as defending champions? Yeah, definitely not a victory lap. It was a crucible. The team was facing this absolute mountain of pressure. You had critics doubting if lightning could strike twice, intense media headlines questioning the squad, absolutely skyrocketing fan expectations, and to counter all of it, these grueling, sweat-soaked training regimens. It really puts the focus on the grind, reminding us that staying at the top is, well, usually a lot harder than getting there. Section 3. Heroes of the Dynasty, Leading the Charge. Okay, let's dive into the beating heart of RCB, Virat Kohli. We get these incredible slow-motion shots highlighting his emotional leadership and his sheer unmatched passion on the field. It emphasizes his match-winning performances throughout the season, blending all that veteran experience with his trademark fire. It shows us exactly how his relentless belief basically fueled the entire franchise. And then we have the strategic anchor. Rajat Patidar, he stepped up into a huge role, taking on the captaincy during this high-stakes title defense. I mean, it takes a very specific kind of calm resolve to lead a defending champion squad through all that noise and expectation, right? The story really shines a spotlight on his steady hand guiding the team. Visually, we're talking pure, ultra-realistic sports documentary caliber, like 4K cinematic quality. It's designed to capture absolutely everything, every bead of sweat, every slow-motion boundary, falling wickets, and those massive, earth-shaking crowd eruptions under dramatic stadium lighting. It literally makes you feel like you're standing right there on the pitch with them. Section 4. The Road to the Final, the Journey to Glory. Let's see how this builds chronologically. The timeline traces this grueling journey, starting with the early season, those really tough, unforgiving league matches that test everyone's endurance. Then it moves into the playoffs, featuring that massive qualifier victory. And finally, the grand final. But what truly bridges all these milestones are the intimate dressing room moments, the deep team unity, and of course, the absolutely unwavering support from the Bengaluru fans, pushing them forward every step of the way. Section 5. The grand final. History repeated. Here is where the atmosphere just shifts dramatically. The whole sensory experience of the final match is built on extreme contrast. So on one side, you have these tension-filled, tight close-ups of the players under immense pressure, backed by an anxiety-inducing heartbeat sound design that's literally pounding in your ears. But on the flip side, you have this explosive, booming commentary building toward history as the final balls are bowled. That juxtaposition, it creates an almost unbearable thrilling tension. And then, the release, the ultimate climax. RCB wins the IPL 2026 final. The visuals just explode with emotion. Players are sprinting onto the field, an incredibly emotional Virat Kohli in tears, fans crying and waving their flags in the stands. You get the iconic trophy lift, totally illuminated by fireworks and a downpour of golden confetti. It's the absolute pinnacle of sports euphoria. Section 6. A Miraculous Legacy, back-to-back glory. And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when the dust settles. The confetti lands, and the final scene rests majestically under the stadium lights, defining this legacy perfectly. What the world once dismissed as just a dream, what they later called a miracle when it first happened, is now the undeniable, historic reality of Royal Challengers Bengaluru, a back-to-back championship dominance that etches their name into history forever. Which brings us to this powerful final thought. As the screen goes dark, you hear the narrator's closing words echoing out. Salah. Every Salah. It's such a spine-tingling evolution of their famous chant. They conquered the drought, they defended the crown, and they built a true dynasty. So it leaves you wondering, with this kind of unstoppable momentum, what impossible feat might this team conquer next? Thank you for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.